Hey, I'm Callie. Thank you for watching Graceland Online. We exist to see lives transformed in the neighborhoods, the generations, and the nations through Jesus Christ. Here in just a few moments, you're going to hear a teaching that's based on the Bible, and we believe that it will be inspiring and relevant to your life. And we know that a lot of people are searching for answers to tough questions and how to navigate life. And if that's you, we would love for you to text us at 812-432-2234 with any questions or any way that we might be able to help you. And again, thank you for watching Graceland Online. We're praying for you, and we hope that this service will be an encouragement to you on your spiritual journey.
When I was in high school and in college, I was not a fan of studying. In fact, for most of my classes, I would do my best to cram and briefly memorize information for tests. Then as soon as the test was done, I would just clear all that information out and I would do the same thing for the next test. Can you relate to that? Now, at the same time that I despised studying for school, I found myself studying sports. I would spend countless hours watching SportsCenter. I would spend all day Saturday and most of my Sunday afternoons watching football games. I would look up statistics on the internet just to see how my favorite teams and my favorite players were doing. How is it that I could spend so much time studying sports and feel as though it was life-giving, yet at the very same time spend as little as time as possible studying for school and feel as though it was burdensome? The answer to that question is passion. It's just passion. You see, I had a passion for sports. I had, and I still have to some degree, a passion for sports, whereas the classes that I was taking in college and school, chemistry, psychology, and several others, they just did not interest me. I didn't have a passion for them. Over the past few weeks and during the month of February, we're taking a look at sex, romance, and relationships. If you haven't yet checked out the 2 episodes that precede this one, please be sure to do that. There you're going to find out about a biblical view of sex, and also we talked about the purpose of marriage. Now in this episode, I want to build upon the previous week, and I want to draw your attention once again to the relationship of marriage. Now, if you saw the title of this episode, then you know that it's called, Are You Married to a Stranger? Are you married to a stranger? The reason that I ask this question is because there just seems to be a lot of marriages in our culture that are really suffering. Divorce rates, they're just higher than ever. And oftentimes there is no physical intimacy in those marriages that are struggling. There is very little emotional connection for marriages that are on the brink of divorce. And unfortunately for Christians, there are many marriages where there is little to no spiritual connection. You see, I believe a big reason that these things happen in marriage is because wives are living with husbands that are strangers to them. You see, I believe that husbands are married to wives and they really do not know them. When people get married, they have a passion for each other. And because of this passion, they study one another. They learn about the other one's interests. They find out how their spouse wants to be shown love. You see, newlyweds are constantly seeking to learn more and more about each other. But as the passion fades, so does the studying of your spouse, so does the learning of your spouse. And as you stop learning about your spouse, especially as he or she is changing or growing, the passion, the physical intimacy, and the spiritual connection seems to dissipate. And so let me ask you this question. Are you married to a stranger? Husbands, do you know the woman that you're married to? Not just who she was when you were first married, but really who she is now. Oftentimes for men, romance is viewed through the lens of physical touch, physical contact, and specifically sex. And for the romance to be there in the relationship, husbands often feel as though it begins with sex. However, a really important way to deepen your relationship with your wife is to study her. You must continually seek to learn about the woman that you made a vow with before God. Husbands, how might you be able to surprise your wife when it comes to the thing that she's interested in? Jewelry, food, sports, music, entertainment, places to visit, hobbies, vacations, her health, exercise, and the list goes on and on. But you have to know her. You have to continually learn about her. And even more importantly than that, how's your wife doing in her walk with Jesus? How is she growing in her spiritual disciplines? How is she using her spiritual gifts for the edification of the church? You won't help her grow. You won't affirm her. You won't love her as extravagantly as you could if you do not know her. You must study your wife. And the same thing goes for you wives as well. Study your husband. Study your husband. What are his dreams? What are his temptations? What are his hardships? How is he reflecting the relationship of Jesus and the church by the way that he loves you? Is he doing that at all? Husband, wife, are you continually learning about your spouse? Are you living and married to a stranger? You see, this is a first step in renewing your marital intimacy, but it is only one step. You see, what I'm talking about here today in this episode is just informational, but the marriage relationship is so much more than that. It should be transformational. You must work at your marriage. Once you know more about your spouse and continue to learn her, you must actually do something about that. You got to put it into practice. Please don't think that by simply listening to this episode or by simply listening to a podcast or by hearing a sermon on Sunday that you are then transformed. This is just what we call information intake. There must be effort that you put into your marriage. Genuine growth in your marriage will involve grace-motivated, grace-saturated work on your marriage. Now, I say grace-motivated and grace-saturated because that is the foundation for it all. It's the foundation for it all. To remind you about our conversation that we had last week, the purpose of marriage is to reflect the relationship that Jesus has with the church. Maybe you're watching this and you have tried everything that you can think of to bring some healing to your marriage, but you are relying solely on yourself. I would invite you to turn to Jesus. If this is you and you'd like to know more about Jesus and what knowing him can do for your marriage, I would ask you to just text us at 812-432-2234. We would love to connect with you. Thanks again for watching this, and we want you to know that we want your marriage to thrive. We pray that you would truly take this information and may it be a catalyst to transform your life and to transform your marriage through the power of Jesus Christ. If you found this helpful, please be sure to hit the like button and also share this episode with anyone that you think would benefit from this resource. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Blessings to you, and we will see you again next time.
Thanks again for watching Graceland Online. We hope that God spoke to you today through this message. And again, feel free to text us at 812-432-2234 if you have any questions about what you heard or if there's a way that we might be able to help you. And you can also find more videos and resources for students and for kids on our website, which is gracelandchurch.online. Thanks again for watching, and we hope that you'll join us again soon.